And so can spend the lifetime looking for doorways, looking for avenues, looking for this truth. When this truth is right here, when this truth is who you are already, looking for that which you already are. A conundrum that the mind cannot solve. And if it continues to try, it will continue to chase its tail for a lifetime, another lifetime, looking for doorways, looking for ways, looking for techniques, looking for answers, answers that cannot be found in the play of the world, answers that cannot be found in the external. There is such an incredible simplicity to this truth. But the learned activity is for the mind to be busy and looking. But the mind's activity to be busy looking, busy doing, is all about continuing the play of separation. It's all about continuing to play as a character in the dream. When this simple truth, this seeing through the dream, is to recognize, who are you already? Who are you? What are you that you have always been? What are you that has never been anything different? What in this moment has never ever changed throughout the whole play of the life? Throughout the play, looking for doors and windows and openings and ways to know this truth. What has never ever changed? What has been constant? What has remained the same? Cannot even answer this question with the mind. But the beauty of true inquiry is that the mind will try to find answers. But at some point, the recognition that all answers are learned, all answers are acquired information. And there will never be a landing in truth. At some point, mind is stopped. Because to truly contemplate, to truly inquire, who are you that has never ever changed? What is there here in this moment that has always been here, that is so intimate? Why is it continually spoken that what you are looking for, you already are? If there was a being still and actually pondering this so deeply inside, the explosion of this finding would stop all seeking. It does stop all seeking. But to see that the habit is to perpetually keep searching, because the mind cannot believe the simplicity and it wants to find something. It wants to be victorious in its search. But there is no victorious one in this search. There is only the true victory, which is the giving up of the search, giving up of seeking, and being the silence that says everything with nothing. That which says everything by saying nothing. the answer is silence, but it is not the answer that the mind wants. So the mind keeps searching for an answer that it wants, because it thinks that it knows. It thinks it knows a thing or two about spirituality, but it does not. True spirituality begins where mind ends. So, the simplicity is that you already are, that you already are the self, that you already are the being that just is. It is to recognize the presence that is already here, not to be looking for something new, not to be looking for something different. It's to recognize the presence that is already here, the simple presence that seems to be in the background, seems to be veiled and covered by all of the activity, and yet the simple presence that is in the background, it is the power, the beauty. Let's say it is the doorway, and this is why it is only turning inwards into the silence, into just being, that the great discovery of who you already are, of what you already are, and that it is right here, can reveal itself, not as new information, not as new knowledge, but as the most profound, pure knowledge. That is the knowledge of the self that you are. Who are you? What are you that has always been here? What are you that has never ever changed? What are you that does never ever change? Do not try to find how the me is this. Because if you're trying to find that relationship through the mind, again, this will be a constant dead end. Do not try to work out how this presence is you. Let the presence that is here reveal itself as your innate, natural wholeness. In the absence of mind, the great revealing of what has always been here, and the incredible, incredible beauty that, oh, this has always been here. And when you can feel this that has always been here, you know that this is who you are, and you cannot find the person that you thought you were. You cannot find that one. That one has disappeared into the discovery of who you truly, truly are. The great revelation is all a bit boring to the mind. Oh, that presence can't be that. It's always here. Exactly, exactly. But the mind, you see, it's got something boring to say about that. But boring is as boring does, as they say in the play of the world. If the mind finds it boring, it's because the mind is boring itself, right? There's nothing interesting about the mind and what it has to say about this very fine revelation. What the mind has to say about reality is not worth anything. It's not worth a thing. So who are you? Who are you? What is there in this moment that has never ever changed? If this became the true focus of inquiry, many would come right now to the answer, because this knowing is already alive here. But the habit to go towards the mind and be distracted by the mind, to give any attention to the mind and its meanderings, when the knowing of this presence, the knowing of the stillness, the silence of being that is true, is already here. Let your attention be here. Let this truth reveal itself in the felt sense of being, where there is no knowledge that is an acquisition. There is no knowledge that the mind can revel in, because there is the revelation of the being that is so bright and shining right here, that when the felt sense of this shining presence that you are is recognized right here, now, there is no pull towards the things that the mind wants to share with you. Yes, the mind will keep trying, and it is to recognize that the mind will keep attempting to hijack this moment. But in the resting, in the being that you are, you recognize that you, in truth, can never be hijacked. Whatever the mind is up to, whatever its strategy, whatever it is attempting to bring forward, the truth of who you are can never, has never been hijacked, will never be hijacked. It is the mind itself that imagines, oh, the mind has hijacked this moment, right? It's the thief saying, the thief has robbed you. Just look at the thief and laugh at how silly it really expresses what silly is, right? Silliness, not truth. It's silliness. So, this presence that is here, the stillness that is here, come to the felt sense of being, come to this truth that you are, come with everything that you have got, and be here as nothing other than the empty silence. Be the empty silence. Let go of the personality and attachment to the personhood, the body, the person house. Let go in this moment of everything that you have believed yourself to be. You are not the body, you are not the mind, you are not the thoughts, you are not your name, you are not the story. You are not anything that you can be aware of. Recognize as the aware being, you are not anything that you are aware of. You are not defined or confined by anything that you are aware of. And so it is a simple process of removing the obstacles from the moment. Make a list, tick the boxes, Remove it all. Let it happen in whichever way feels smooth and easy. Be here now. Be the being that is ever present, ever aware of its own presence, aware of the moving, changing, but not moving or changing in any way itself. The awareness is still. Confirm this. Awareness, aware being is still. The still aware being is aware of all that is moving and changing. You are not the moving, changing. In this moment, tick off everything that is moving and changing. Tick it all off. Name, gone. Story, gone. Roles, gone. Sense perception, gone. Past, gone. Future, gone. And now anything else that you can find, let it be gone. Be aware of it. Tick it off. Tick it off. Anything that wants to creep in, if you are aware of it, see it, let it be gone. Tick it off. Not that, not that, not that. Watch how the mind might attempt to bring things in. See it. As soon as you see it, not that, not that. And come to this moment empty, empty of content, empty of past, empty of story, empty of doership, empty of enjoyership, empty of choosing, empty of evaluating, interpreting, analyzing, empty of personality, gone. In this moment, be so curious. Who are you? Are you still here when all of that junk has gone? Check. Are you still here? Confirm if you are still here. And then what are you if you are not all that you thought you were? If all of that has gone, then who are you? You are still here. You cannot find an answer that makes sense. And yet there is a knowing. You are still here. Your confirmation. Where is your confirmation? How do you know you are still here when everything that you believed yourself to be, everything that you felt and thought defined you has gone? Who are you? Who are you in truth in this moment when you are stripped of all phenomena, stripped of content? Who are you? Who do you remain as? Recognize that the knowing is here. and your confirmation. Find out what your confirmation is based upon. What is your confirmation of being here, grounded in? It's not grounded in the mind. It's not grounded in information. It's not grounded in story. It's not grounded in anything that the mind can understand. And yet it is so deeply grounded, so immediately confirmable that your presence is still here. And your presence has got nothing to do with things. That you are here in your entirety, in your wholeness, in your perfection, in your glory, as the simple presence of being. Silence itself is confirming its own silent presence. Stillness itself is confirming its own still, unmoving presence. There is a knowing in this that is profound, subtle. So be subtle, be simple, be subtle. At any point, if a thought comes in, be aware of it, see it, tick it off. That you are not. Even just to notice, if you go towards it, see the habit to be distracted and say no, no to that thought. Be here, be here. Be aware of the habit and how easy it is to go towards thought. Be aware of whatever is happening in your direct experience, but do not, as if your life depended upon it, give yourself away to the robber that wants to steal the attention into the dream, into the illusion. Do not, as if this moment of clear seeing is the only moment you will ever be offered in this lifetime. Make it count. Make it count like you do not have any other moment but this to know yourself. Inquire with all of your heart, all of your being. Be here so fully as if your life depends upon it. Let's say, in truth, it does, because you are not living in truth if you are playing and being washed around in the dream. This moment is where life is. This moment is where life is alive. This moment, the aliveness, the awakeness of simply being, this true presence, this is where life is living itself. Who are you? What are you? As that which you are already. Solve the riddle and be free. Find out that it's not even really a riddle. Recognize that the mind attempting to solve the riddle is a distraction. The true solving is in being, in confirming your own presence, confirming that you are here And you are not defined by anything, by labels, by stories, by past, by drama, by things, by sense perception, by phenomena, by form. You are not defined. You are the undefinable infinite. To feel yourself here is to feel your boundless nature, the freedom that you are. Feel yourself here. Confirm in this moment the boundless freedom. In this moment, confirm that you are not bound or contained by body or mind. Feel the truth and confirm it. Be no one, be zero. Count yourself down into your emptiness. Not the story, not the past, not the future, not the name, not anything that is perceivable. And then what remains when you have counted yourself down and you are zero, zero. All that remains is nada, nada. The roaring, roaring silence, the sound of the silence singing its own glory, saying everything by saying nothing. When you feel the resonance of truth, it is to drink in the resonance of truth, because the resonance is the confirmation. You need nothing more than the resonance, the confirmation. The resonance is recognition. It's the recognition beyond the mind and its need to understand. When you feel resonance, you have some value of recognition, and it is to be with this resonant recognition. This is where true trust is. It's where you join with the deep faith that has kept you company through the whole life. This deep faith that has been your constant companion. The mind has interpreted it and created a story of seeking. But where seeking ends, truth is here. The willingness to give up the identity of being a seeker. The willingness to give up all identity. It's not the me that is choosing. The me could not choose this. The me can only keep thinking about itself. Let us be clear. The me, if it was in the power of the me to surrender, to give up, to let go, to know this, it would happen, but it is not within the realm of possibility for the me to come into the emptiness, because the me by its nature is an experience, and to know yourself is to be before all experience, to be before all thought, to be before all things. So how can the experience of me know what is before? It cannot. It can only know its experience of itself. It's a limited context. It's a limited context. Cannot find the answers. Can look in every direction. Can look everywhere. Search the whole house a gazillion times over. Take it apart. Take it apart again and again to find this truth in the house of me, in the house of the person. But it is impossible, absolutely, completely and utterly impossible. Okay? Got that, mind? No, I'm still going to keep looking. You see, that's the nature of mind. Got that? Yes, 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 yes. I've heard you say that before. But I'm still convinced that the answer is here, right? It is the nature of the mind. But we are not here to celebrate the nature of mind. We are here to see through the illusion of separation. We are here to see the tricks, the interceptors, and all of the ways that that mechanism can keep pulling the attention, but to see that who you are is never ever touched. Confirm in your direct experience again and again and again that the stillness that you are is never touched. Be the zero that never launches itself into identification. Be the zero, the ground zero of being that never launches itself trying to dock in the world of identification. Be docked only in reality, in the heart of God. Be docked only in the truth that is, in the presence of being that you are. Ground zero. Boring, boring, boring to the mind. Boring, boring, boring. Nothing to do here. Absolutely. But oh my goodness, richer, richer, richer than the me could ever imagine. But you have to really relish the resonant, the compelling resonance. See how the shiny penny will keep trying to offer itself to you. Shiny penny over here, shiny penny, shiny penny. Do not go towards the shiny pennies of the mind. They are just distractions. They are smoke and mirrors. They are here to rob you. They are here to take you away into the play of separation. Do not be fooled by the shiny pennies. Only fall into the true, shining, luminous nature of the being that you are. The self shining in and of itself. Just being here. The stillness, the silence, the being that just is. The knowing of this being is here, underneath all that is moving and changing. Before everything that is moving and changing. Here you are, as yourself, the natural wholeness that just is, the natural wholeness that you have always been. Be here empty of content, empty of everything that you are aware of. If the attention is pulled, rest as the awareness and tick it off, netty netty, tick it off. Not this, not that, not this, not that. Remove the distraction of everything that you are not and find out in this holy moment who you truly are. Confirm in your direct experience that this presence is never ever touched, never moving, ever still, ever silent, ever being itself. Confirm it. Do not try to look for anything more fancy. Remove the one who is looking. Come to the intimacy where there truly is no one here. There is no surrenderer, no doer, no finder, no seer. There's no one here but the simple seeing of the self seeing itself, the being being itself. The confirmation is the heart. The confirmation is truth. It's not a truth that can be spoken. The glory of this discovery is that it is self-discovery. This is the glory. The glory is that no one can give this to you. No one can do this for you. Why? Because no one exists. Nothing exists. All of this out here in the external phenomena. Of course, phenomena cannot give you the trophy. Phenomena cannot give you the true victory. Hear this, receive this in the heart of truth. Self-discovery is the self-discovering itself. You can only discover this for yourself in the heart of being that you are. All pointing can bring you to the immediacy of your own spontaneous discovery. All pointing is not pointing to anything out here. All pointing is a resonant transmission pointing to the possibility of your own discovery. You see, the power of recognition is in self-discovery. The power of recognition is in that no one can give this to you. You can search the whole world over for someone to give this to you, and you will not find someone. And so the truth is out. There is no one here. There is no one here. No one is here giving you something. This voice, this setup of satsang is your own self. Your longing has created a situation, an appearance, a worldly appearance, in order for you to hear your own voice, to point yourself into the true remembering, the true discovery. The profound discovery is the self-discovering itself. You see, the power of this discovery is that it is an internal explosion, indirect experience. It's not an external experience that comes and goes. It's an internal revelation. It's an internal revelation. All the words, all the pointings are inviting you into the immediacy of who you already are, of what you already are. You cannot be looking for something, because something you are not. You are the only being here that is not something. And so this inquiry, we remove everything. We remove everything and we find out what remains. And what is found, and please confirm this, is that you are still here. Your presence, your knowing of your own presence is still here, plain and simple, unquestionable, undoubtable, beyond the mind's understanding. Before the first thought, the I am presence reveals that I am this presence that is here now. Simple, simple, simple. Do not try to complicate it. Do not try to let that voice come in that says, but how is this who I am? Ah, no. Do not be looking with the me. Okay, this is one of the biggest distractions, is that the me looks for, how is this who I am? It's not, my love. It's not. It's not. And yet it is who you are in truth. And you're knowing the self-discovery, the discovery of heart, the confirmation that is the knowing of being, is where this shining truth, this resonant shining truth reveals that who you are, what you are, it doesn't matter whether we say who you are or what you are. Let us say this that is, this that you have always been, who you is, who the I is here in the simplicity. It's not an understanding for the mind, it's a revelation, an internal revelation. And in this revelation, there is a meeting in the oneness. In this oneness, you know, you know who I am when you know who you are. And you will see that I, too, am not who you thought I was, just as you are not who you thought you were. Great glory, alleluia. Yes, we have these costumes. What incredible glory. The one being wearing all of these costumes. God, seeing 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 God. What glory, what glory, what glory is shining. The simplicity. Who are you? Who have you always been? What is here now in this moment that has never ever moved? What has been here as a constant through the whole life. This is the doorway into yourself. You recognize that there is not even a doorway. All looking for a doorway has been illusion. When you find the doorway, you find there was never one. Because you are that one that has always been here, ever present. So, where there is a readiness, the simplicity can be felt, seen, known here in the being. The mind is meandering, then the mind is meandering. It's still meandering because it believes that it has other avenues to explore. At some point, this truth that is being spoken will land, will ground, will root. The discovery of the self is the self discovering itself inside you. You discover this truth within you. You discover this truth of who you are. Being here, being yourself. The simplicity of the I am presence before any thought, and the willingness, the vigilance to rest here as the I am presence that every being has access to, and the willingness to remain, the vigilance to remain that comes when there is a readiness, to stay here, to tick off everything that you can be aware of. That I am not, that I am not, that I am not. You discard every single thing and you find out who are you that is before all thought. Who are you that is before the first I thought that identifies consciousness with something. Feel the purity of consciousness, just simply being conscious of itself. Just simply feel consciousness being conscious of itself. And here you are in the inner landscape of being. And this is where the discovery happens, is here in the landscape of consciousness, in the landscape of your own consciousness, recognizing itself, not making sense, not landing anywhere, just simply being conscious, being consciously aware of everything that wants to pull the attention, but resting here, grounded as the zero grounded only in its beingness. Here you are. Confirm this. Confirm it as the self, confirming itself. Yes, yes, yes. This. The confirmation is the innermost being whispering its silent confirmation to itself, and this is knowing. This is the knowing. You are presence, not person. You are silence, stillness, not movement. The confirmation is so here, so simply. To say yes in the confirmation of your direct experience. Be aware of thoughts and say, thoughts I am not. Be aware of distractions, distractions I am not. Be aware of everything that comes and goes, anything that is moving, I am not. And so who are you? Who are you in truth? The immaculate being, the immaculate unmoving being that is simply here, being itself. Being here. When you know yourself and you know this truth, that truth never ever can be taken from you, can never be hijacked. The truth is here. And now the true work begins. Because the true work is to not leave yourself, to allow the process of refinement to happen while the mind winds up its worldly business. Its worldly business, we could say, could be the winding up of karmic obscurations and the vasanas that will create distraction. The process of refinement is where everything that pleases the world will keep trying to pull the attention. And now the true vigilance to know who you are, to not leave this knowing, and allow the refinement to happen. As the attention will try to be pulled, but you recognize the knowing of who you are does not change, and everything that is trying to pull you is phenomena. And the unraveling of true nature as dispassion is the ability to be non-reactive and not engage in reactivity, to remain still and unmoving while the winds of moving, changing world, the waves, let's say the tides, the ebbs and flows, will attempt to pull you in. This is where the humbling happens, because you will be pulled in. You will be pulled in, you will be chewed up, and you will be spat out. And it doesn't feel good to the me. But every time you are spat out, if the me does not wallow in self-pity, you will feel the humility and the wholeness of yourself grow in its shiningness. Every time you are spat out, you will feel that you are the ocean. And even though you have been chewed up and spat out on a certain level, that as the ocean you were never touched. You were never touched. And dispassion comes, the dispassion that confirms ever more deeply this truth of who you are. Ever more deeply, you come to recognize the unity, the oneness, the Atman that can never be, ever be touched, the field of infinite, unbounded being that you are. Great glory, great glory. Do not allow yourself to be washed up on the shore and running around in the play. Be constantly reabsorbed back into the ocean through your humility, through your vigilance. Be constantly reabsorbed back into the ocean of remembering, oh, I never left myself. This I have always been. This truth always here, ever shining. It's radiant, radiant truth. This is the truth. This is the truth. Do not be someone confirming. Make sure there is nothing between you and yourself. Be so vigilant to ensure there is nothing between you and yourself. There is no one experiencing this truth. You are the truth. That is the truth. That you are. You are the freedom, the stillness, the silence of being. You are not someone experiencing. You are that. You are that. And only that can revel in the incredible profundity of knowing that I am that, I am that. That I am. What is that? What is that undescribable, unexplainable knowingness? What is that knowingness? So compelling, so rich, and right here inside you, right here, right now, the awakeness of knowing what that is and that you are that, and your knowing reveals this truth.